Hi, this is a follow-up video to yesterday's video, which was about how you can start an online business on the side by selling physical products online. And today I got a question about somebody asking me how do you make a logo for cheap. So I'm going to talk about how I got many logos for $100 each or lesser, and it will definitely be helpful for you because $100 is possibly the cheapest you can be spending for a quality logo. And I found this really good thing from a friend who taught me this technique, and I'm going to share it with you right now, and it's going to help you fight out many designers, get designs from many designers, and then choose a final good design. So there is this website called freelancer.com. Some of you may have heard of it. You can go on freelancer.com and post a contest. Okay, there are some other websites like this, but they are more expensive. Freelancer is the cheapest, and you can choose your own budget. So some people have also tried $50. I have not tried that. I only put up $100 of purse for the price. So how it works is you submit a proposal, you create a contest wherein a lot of different designers will come and bid. Basically, they'll design something and show you the design, and you have to look at each of the designs, tell them what you like, what you don't like, rate the designs. You can rate them 0 stars to 5 stars. Based on that, the future designers who will be again looking at your contest will get a better idea of what kind of design that you're looking for. What happens then is, so this is a 30-day contest, and you have to be careful because Freelancer by default sets it 7 days. You make sure that you set your contest to be 30 days, and it's available in the options there. 30 days is the maximum. Make sure you set it at 30 days, and you have to make the contest guaranteed. Means that you will definitely award the prize money to somebody. Because if you don't do this, there are a lot of people who are not going to be motivated enough to go ahead and try to meet the prize requirement. If there is an option to not have it guaranteed, and if you do that, many people will say you need to make it guaranteed, I don't trust you enough. So you could just take a good design and maybe run away with it. So that's a fear that some designers have. So if you make it a guaranteed thing, people will definitely try to go ahead and give you what you want. And the experience for me, I have got around 4 logos designed from Freelancer but till now, and I was very satisfied with all the logos that I found. Very satisfied. I personally thought that they were very good, and the real kick here, about the real benefit, is if you go for a single designer, okay, what happens is only that particular designer's thoughts go into the particular design, right? So if you say you go to the designer down the street, then he will do all the things that he can. He will come up with 3 designs, ask you to pick one, or you will tell him a particular design. Sometimes you have something in mind. In my case, I didn't have something in mind. So it was quite difficult for me to actually come to terms with a proper design. I know some people who've used Fiverr.com, but they had designs in mind. So it was easier for them to go ahead and just say, okay, I have the design, you can just draw it on paper and then show it to them, and then go ahead and create something on the basis of this, which was not the case that I was in. I'm a little bit of a introverted kind of a guy. I don't think so much creatively, I'd say, at least in the design space. So for me, I thought Freelancer was really helpful. And over the span of around 3 years, I got 4 logos designed, $100 each time. I never had to spend more money than that. And each time, what happens is, so I'll guide you through the experience of what happens from day 1 till day 30. Immediately after you post the contest, there will be some people who will join in, who will start talking about, submitting some designs. So you will look at them, you will tell them, you will give them some feedback. And so the critical part here is feedback. So if you tell a particular designer what is to be done, or if you say this is not nice, or if you tell him what you would rather like instead of this, that would be very helpful to that designer and to future designers who are going to be applying for the project. So what usually happens is on day one, you'll get a couple of design submissions. Design submissions go up until day 7. So day 7, day 10, around that mark. And then design submissions slow down. From day 25 onward, the design submissions go up again. Why? So when freelancer or a particular contest is going to end, that is when it shows an ending soon. So it shows a small alert called ending soon, that says ending soon on the freelancer page for freelancers to search through projects. So there will be some designer who's like really good and he wants some quick cash. So he will be looking at your particular contest, and what he does is he'll just go ahead, look at all the previous comments, previous designs, and then finally he will submit one design. Sometimes this design is very, very good. And then you will tell him some little tweaks to make, and he will make some tweaks and he immediately get back to you. So this really happens fast, because now people are interested in getting this result faster, right? And then you get really, really good logos. Like, you will have to compete between which logo is better. You will have to think. You will need to ask for opinions from friends and family and people you think that can comment on your logo, because it will be difficult for you to choose between one logo and another. And there were times when I thought, okay, I have to award it to two designs, but I thought, okay, no, you have to pick one. And if you want, you can actually pay the particular designer some other extra amount and you can get that design as well. But in my case, I didn't do that because I didn't have the funds, basically. And even $100 was quite a lot of money, because I'm from India. 5,000, 7,000 rupees is, or at least for a startup entrepreneur, you try to cut costs wherever you can. So I was doing that, but I still felt that the logo is the first thing that people will see. So if your logo looks professional, everything else goes ahead from there, right? So that's what I did, and I'm going to be leaving you in the description a particular template. So whenever you're handing over or taking the files from the designer, there are certain things you must ask for. So if you don't ask the designer for all these files, you will be in a problem later, because if you want any designer to work on those files, you will need certain files. You will need source files as well as other files, which it is best to have. And for the designer who's submitting it to you for some money, prize money especially, he will make sure that everything is in order. So that is what I will just leave in the description. It also covers like logo sizes for favicons. Favicons are the ones you see on the website. Beside the URL, there's a small icon that's called the favicon. Also the Facebook dimensions and the Twitter dimensions, Twitter profile pic dimensions and Twitter cover pic dimensions, Facebook profile pic, Facebook cover pic. These are something that I will mention, and so that it just helps you. I can just give you the link where I found them so that it will help you. But that's all. It really works. $100 is possibly the single cheapest thing for a logo. You could get a logo for $5 maybe, but you really don't get an option to refine the logo till you are satisfied with it if you go on something like Fiverr. I thought this was good. It worked for me. Do try it out yourself and benefit from it. Thank you.